Right, it's time for Ask GMBN. Ask. We've got loads of your questions submitted underneath the other videos from last week's Ask. Lots of good questions.
Very good.
So we'll get in there and try and answer them.
Right, Neil, first question is from AJ.
Yep.
And he says, carbon wheels, worth it? Thinking of upgrading my DT 1700 splines.
DT Swiss.
On my Dune Carbon to E13 TRS race carbon rims.
Ooh, I don't know much about the E13 wheels.
Welcome your thoughts, he says.
Carbon wheels, I have mixed experience with using quite a lot. I like them sometimes, don't always like them. I've broken my fair share of carbon rims.
Have you?
So obviously an alloy rim will bend and buckle, a carbon one won't. It's either good or it's not, and it will snap. So I do run them on a cross-country bike. I love them. They feel super fast. They're light, so that unsprung mass feels good. However, they can be broken. And to be honest, those DT wheels are amazing.
Yeah.
If I was buying wheels, I would buy DT alloy wheels.
Yeah, well, so there you go. That's a good hint to what you should do there. I tell you what as well, is that changing a carbon rim, and I've changed the ride.
It's stiff that way
so
as well.
Stiff, yeah. So it does change how the bike feels.
That's a big thing I noticed.
That's
they
definitely
flex that way, so you hit bumps that go that way. But they can be nice as well.
Yeah, can we just hear that noise again? It's very good. Right, next we've got Greg Giannikos. He says, I want a new bike. I'm thinking of upgrading to a small trail hardtail. Upgrading from a small hardtail.
Yeah.
But I love everything from XC to enduro. Is a 140 to 160 mil full sus capable of longer and comfortable rides?
Yes.
Or is pedaling going to be suffering?
You might feel like it a little bit to begin with, but a 140 bike to me feels pretty small nowadays. I need to go miles on them. I've ridden my Scott Ransom, which is like 170 mil, something, maybe 175, for like 50k.
Yeah.
So with lockouts and stuff, those bikes will pedal really well, but a 140 bike will be really fast. So I would say do it.
Yeah, and those 160s, really, they're enduro bikes.
Yeah.
I mean, how far do enduro riders take
A long way.
each day? Long way.
50k a day.
You can do it on those
Yeah.
bikes, definitely. Yeah, don't let that hold you back.
And they'll be really capable, Daniel.
Yeah, and I tell you what, to prove the differences in those bikes, we saw a good example when you rode against old Tichuan Crow.
Yeah, well, he rode here. That's a 100 mil bike, actually, really hard.
Yeah, let's have a look how that went.
3, 2, 1, go!
Right, Neil, you're on form today. You're on form, but I'm going to test you with me and Matthew Finch have come up with a question you will not be able to answer.
Go on.
This is hard, right?
Is it Matt's question?
Matthew Finch says, should I be aiming to use all or 90% of my travel on regular rides? I currently seem to use around 60 to 70%, so not all of it, of my fork travel. Should I lower the PSI even though the sag is about right? Or keep the extra travel for the occasional massive hit?
Ooh.
There, stumped you.
It's kind of complicated because if you're going for a mellow ride, then you wouldn't want to use all your suspension. If you've gone for a mellow ride, then you do one big drop off, then you've used all of it. It depends on the ride, really. But I guess you want to be using most of your travel from your normal rides, I suppose. So you can easily let out a bit of pressure, try it out, and if you're still, got stanchion you're not using, then let them out a bit lower.
Yeah, get the use out of it. Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do, so just have a go. Get an O-ring. If most forks and shocks have O-rings on them, if they don't, put a zip tie on there so you can check exactly.
Right, now we've got Just Andom Guy. It's a hard name to say. Hi guys, are there any 26-inch alloy downhill bikes? And can I put a 26-inch wheel on a 27.5-inch bike?
Well, you know what? I looked into this, and I don't think there is a brand new downhill bike on the market with 26-inch wheels.
That is amazing.
27.5 and obviously 29. Santa Cruz V10 just come out in both.
Yeah.
So no.
That's crazy.
So Rocky Mountain used to do it with was it a Slayer? No, Maiden. And you could put a 26-inch back in there if you wanted to. So no, there isn't.
That's mad, isn't it? Because I mean, it's not long ago that we were going these wheel sizes, really.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
as far as putting 26-inch wheels in a bike designed for 27.5, yes, you can. It's going to be low, so I wouldn't want to do it, to be honest. All the angles will be the same, but your BB will be super low, so you'll be whacking your pedals everywhere. So yeah.
And you might find, depending on the shape of the chainstays, you could get a bit of rubbing if the tyres move that far back to a closely fitted chainstay, but I doubt it.
True, never thought about that.
Yeah, you could do. So no is the answer. Romaine Sharpie says, hey guys, I'm about to change the brakes on my enduro bike, front and rear. Should I go for the ultimate braking system, the Magura MT7 Pro, or rather the cool stuff everyone is using, the Hope Tech-Free E4? That is progressive. So that's a good question, actually.
I've not used Hope for a few years, but
well, you know what? It's an interesting question because in my riding career, I have used Hope and Magura.
Yep.
That's it. I have never used anything else.
About Magura hydraulic.
No, I used to use Hope disc, Magura discs when they first come out, and they were amazing actually when they first came out.
I've got some now.
Yeah.
They are flipping powerful.
Yeah.
However, I think they are a bit ugly.
What, the Maguras?
I don't really like the look of them.
Yeah,
but
they're not that
the
pretty.
power of them and the feel of them I love, so I would get them even though I don't love the look of them, because that's a bit poncy thinking my looks over function.
The one thing I would say is that if trials riders are using them, and trials riders are using both Hope and Magura, Danny Mac's signature brake is Magura, of course.
Yes.
Then they work, because trials riders do not put up with brakes that don't work.
I would say,
interested.
if you can, try them out, because there's definitely some brakes I like, just like the feel of them. They're really light.
Yeah, that's important to me.
Got some new SRAM codes. They feel amazing on my new proof. Really light movement.
Yeah, I really feel like that. I can almost tell if I'm going to like a brake just from when I put my hands on it, and I'm like, if the lever's not quite right, I'm not into it.
I haven't ridden a bad set of disc brakes in years, like that don't work. They all work really well, so go for the ones you like the look of and the feel of, I'd say, because they all work.
That's a good point. There's not really I've not had a set and gone, these are crap.
No. Although
disc
brakes
brakes
are exceptionally
except from road bikes. I finally got a road bike with disc brakes on.
Yeah.
When I had a what was it called? Colnago. Yeah. And that had disc brakes on. I was like, oh, amazing. It was one of the first ones ever. And they were rubbish.
I had a road bike with disc brakes on it, and I went around the corner, locked up, hit a car, broke the bike in two, broke my jaw, broke my...
And you know what, actually, but we worked out it was because of the frame.
What?
The brakes weren't working because of the frame. It just, it rushed the idea, and it just, the frame couldn't handle it. Shame, eh? Road bikes again.
What are we doing here, Mark?
I don't know, but we're not talking about them anymore. Okay, Danny M says, I need to cut my seat post down.
Yep.
How much seat post do I need to go into the frame? And should I re-grease it afterwards?
Yes, re-grease it. Also, file it off so it's not sharp.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but there will be a measurement. There'll be a line, so I would measure that and make sure you've got that left over. If you see what I mean? Simple.
Yes.
If it's 10 centimeters, cut it and then make sure mark it again. I would with a little score or something, and make sure you've got that in, because I have seen frames snap if you haven't got enough in there. The seat post goes.
Still want to do it? That's scary, isn't it? Getting a hacksaw out to anything's terrifying. Yeah. Right, you are smashing the questions today, Neil. Yeah, you're very, very good at this mountain bike stuff. Ran Weisberg says, I love your show. And that's all he says. Oh. No, it isn't really. He says, I just got a new Canyon Torque and found out I cannot fit inside my car.
No, type of new car.
As it used to. Do you have any idea of how to transport them, as I don't have a lot of money left after buying it?
Hang on.
And I don't want to invest in a roof rack. Why not? What's wrong with a roof rack?
I want to check the shape of the Torque, because some bikes, depends on the down tube, like I'd struggled to get them onto my roof rack just because of the way it clamps, so I reckon that'll be fine with most racks. So yeah, there's options. There's ones that go on your tow bar, ones that go on the back. No racks are particularly cheap, to be fair.
I like listening to you saying racks.
Rack. Great rack. I like the roof rack because it stays on permanently.
Well, I'm afraid Ran doesn't want a roof rack, so you got to suggest something else.
Trailer.
Do you know what I'd do?
New
Ride
car.
the bike.
New car and just strap the boot down with a bit of rope.
Volvo V90.
Boring.
You'd get a bike in the back of that.
Yeah,
Boring? Yeah. You drive a Golf, dude. Golf. Okay, right. Dominic Alfiano says, I recently had a crash.
Me too.
That's rare. And I had a small crack on my full face helmet. Oh, well, it did its job. Yeah. Do I really need to buy a new one? Yes. I'm low on money and think my helmet can still protect me. It can't.
It's one of them. It depends. No. Depends how bad it is. If it's a bit of a... you can never tell. That is the problem. You can never tell.
No. Remember when this guy was good at answering questions? It just ended. Yes. You can only have form for so long and then it goes.
Hang on. Pop to the Coron, which has got multi-impact stuff on it.
That's a good point, actually. There are helmets that specifically, but I think you've got a helmet, it's got a crack in it.
Yeah. Get rid of it.
It's done its job.
And if anything, like the stuff inside, the EPS has squashed all the get rid of it.
It's your head, man. You can't mess around with it. Helmets are hard. They've got to go on your head absolutely right. They've got to be fantastic, and they've got to look after your noggin. We actually did a video recently, take a look at this, about how to make your helmet fit perfectly.
A helmet is an essential piece of equipment when it comes to riding your bike, of course, but it's also super important that it's fitted to your head correctly. So let's take a look at the specifics of how to do it.
Right, time for Correct Me If I'm Wrong, our chance to take a look at some of your riding and see if we can help you improve, which is great. Love this bit of the show.
Send them via the uploader and we'll take a look.
Yes.
This is Joe, Bryn Bettis Lodge in South Wales, riding his Newt-Proof Scout 275. Same bike Blake's got.
Nice little roller. Oh, I thought he was going to clip that front wheel hard then.
Bit kicky, wasn't it? He's come up. Joe's come up a little bit short and a bit nose down. I mean, we've all done it. But...
yeah. It's just before the takeoff, look, he just checks his speed a little bit.
I would say, yeah, you kind of messed up the first jump a little bit, and in that case, I would just sort of go, no, not this time, roll through, come back, have another go. So you can see there's a bit of a wobble, and actually there is where you can lose a bit of speed. So you didn't have quite enough speed to clear that jump.
And I think you messed up that first roller because you kind of went for a little bit of shape there, and then as you landed in that shape, it created that little jerk in the straight towards the takeoff, and then you're not quite set up.
Don't pull on the bars, that could send you a bit sideways.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Robert, next one, on his Canyon Spectral, riding the Dreamline in Hanover, Germany.
Oh, nice.
Trying to improve his jumping as well.
It's always about the jumping, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Here we go.
So we've got a tabletop. Robert comes in. The thing about this really gets me is timing. So he's crouched down.
Yeah.
He's extending up already.
Yeah.
So there's no pop. Don't get any pump.
Oh, look at that bike coming up to meet him now. Oh yeah.
So it is. You did think you got it wrong. Anyway, you've said about timing, but yeah, definitely timing. So leave it later. Pump right into the face jump. Then you'll get the lift.
Yeah, and if you're starting to learn to jump, which it looks like you are, that takeoff is actually quite a kicky takeoff as well.
True.
It's quite a short takeoff for a sort of learning jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one comes from South Australia. This is Jamie on his Norco fluid. Oh, it's his little brother tries to jump. It's 29-foot jump.
Oh man, I've seen this.
So we've got a mattress on the back of the downslope.
Thank God. I tell you what, he's not shy though.
Boom!
Bang!
Oh, that was wicked.
Wow. I tell you what, well, it feels harsh to correct him, right?
That's amazing.
He jumps well. It's just big.
Send it.
It's really big.
Look at that booter. It's like,
yeah.
what?
I mean, what you could have done is if you just popped up a bit more height,
but
you probably done it.
Look how high he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fair to correct him.
No,
it's just maybe a round of applause. Well done, Jamie. Very nice. Good try.
Bit faster, but I guess you probably know that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Thank you for sending them in. As Neil said, you can send in your Correct Me If I'm Wrongs to the uploader. You can give us your questions in the comment section down below, or you can put hashtag AskGMBN on our social media and on our other platforms.
Hit that sub button. We're almost at 1 million next, very soon, I think, actually.
Yes, really soon. It's getting close.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see a video about jumping mistakes, common mistakes from Blake, over there, that one.
Nice one. And we'll see you next time.